The alien princess struggled to keep her composure, but the human soldier left her speechless. Princess Zira of the Narration Empire stood tall on the observation deck, her silver skin catching the light of 3 moons that orbited her homeworld. Her antenna twitched with annoyance as she watched the human delegation approach the palace. The humans had arrived 2 cycles ago to negotiate a peace treaty after the unfortunate misunderstanding that had sparked conflict between their species. Zira had studied these strange beings from Earth. Their soft skin, their rounded ears, and most disturbing of all, their complete lack of telepathic abilities made them unpredictable and dangerous. Yet here they were on her world, asking for peace when they had the military advantage. The humans could have continued their campaign and likely won, but instead they extended an olive branch. It made no sense to her. Kate Miller led the human security detail. Her dark uniform contrasted with the shimmering architecture of the Narration Palace. Kate had fought in 3 major battles against the Narratians. She had lost friends, seen horrors that would never leave her, but now she was here to protect the diplomats and ensure peace was given a chance. The princess narrowed her 6 violet eyes as the human soldier approached. Kate stood at perfect attention while the diplomats exchanged formal greetings. Ambassador Olivia Wilson bowed respectfully to the princess. The human woman spoke in carefully, practiced Narration, which surprised Zira. She had not expected any human to master even the basics of her complex language. The formalities completed, the royal guard escorted the humans to their quarters. Kate remained vigilant, observing everything. Her training had taught her to notice details, and the details here were fascinating. The architecture seemed to shimmer and change subtly, as if alive. The guards moved with perfect synchronization, suggesting some form of shared consciousness. That night Zira could not sleep. Her curiosity about the humans, especially the silent soldier with watchful eyes, kept her mind racing. She slipped out of her royal chambers, dismissing her guards with a mental command, and made her way toward the human quarters. She knew this was improper, but her position as princess allowed her certain freedoms. She found Kate alone in the palace garden, staring up at the alien sky. The human appeared to be meditating, or perhaps just lost in thought. Zira moved silently across the garden, her natural bioluminescence dimmed. Kate sensed movement and turned swiftly, hand moving to her weapon, then relaxing when she recognized the princess. Her training kept her face neutral, but Zira could sense surprise radiating from her. "May I join you?" Kate Miller asked the princess, formally remembering to use the proper royal title. Zira nodded, settling beside the human on a bench carved from living crystal. "Why do you humans want peace?" she asked directly, "when you could destroy us?" Kate considered the question. "Your species and mine had a misunderstanding. We do not seek to conquer, only to exist. We believe diversity makes the universe stronger, not weaker." Zira studied the human face, so expressive compared to her own species. "Your kind killed many of my people, as yours killed many of mine," Kate replied evenly. "Yet here we are, talking, not fighting. That seems better, doesn't it?" The princess had never experienced such direct speech. No Narration would dare speak to her with such honesty. It was refreshing and terrifying. Over the next several days, Zira found reasons to be near the human security detail. She observed Kate during diplomatic meetings, during ceremonial functions, during combat demonstrations. She watched how the human moved, how she spoke, how she interacted with others. Kate noticed the princess watching her. The alien royal was not as subtle as she thought herself to be. The soldier maintained her professional demeanor, but found herself intrigued by the silvery being with 6 eyes and graceful movements. One night, after a particularly tense negotiation session, Kate found herself alone in the diplomatic wing. Zira appeared from a hidden passage, her bioluminescence creating patterns across her skin that Kate had learned indicated emotional distress. "The humans will never understand our ways," Zira said, her voice melodic despite her agitation. "Your kind thinks linearly individually. We think collectively with past and future intertwined." Kate looked at the princess. "This is why we talk," she said, "to find understanding. I may never fully comprehend how you think, but I can respect it." Zira moved closer, her height towering over the human. My advisors say you cannot be trusted, that humans say one thing and do another. Kate met the alien gaze, steady and unafraid. Some humans are like that, some Nalarians too, I imagine. But most of us just want to live in peace. Explore the stars, trade stories, make connections. The princess circled Kate, studying her from all angles. What stories would you tell me? Human Kate smiled and began to speak. She told Zira about Earth, about growing up in a small town called Ridgemont, about joining the military to see the stars, about her first encounter with alien life. Her words painted pictures of blue oceans, green forests, and concrete cities, of human celebrations and sorrows, of music and art. Zira listened entranced. The humans spoke with such passion, such conviction. No Nalarian would express themselves so openly. It was considered vulgar to reveal one's inner thoughts. Yet here was this human freely sharing her experiences, her hopes, her fears. When Kate finished speaking, silence fell between them. The princess reached out one slender, six-fingered hand, hesitating just above Kate's shoulder. "May I?" she asked. Kate nodded, curious. The princess placed her hand on the human's shoulder and closed all 6 eyes. A gasp escaped her silvery lips as the touch allowed her to sense the emotions behind Kate's words. The depth of human feeling, the complexity of their individual minds was overwhelming. Zira stumbled back, her composure completely shattered. The sensation was like diving into an ocean when you had only known shallow pools. The princess tried to speak but found herself truly speechless. Kate reached out, steadying the princess. "Are you all right, Your Highness?" The princess looked at the human with new understanding. "You feel so much," she finally managed to say. "So intensely, yet so alone in your minds. How do you bear it?" Kate smiled gently. "We connect through words, through touch, through shared experiences. It's different from your telepathic bonds, but meaningful in its own way." In that moment, standing in the quiet corridor, Zira realized why. The humans had offered peace. They valued connection across differences. They sought to build bridges rather than walls. They were alone in their minds, yet reached out, despite the isolation. The peace talks continued for many days. The humans and Nalarians struggled to find common ground. Their ways of thinking were so different, their values seemingly incompatible. Yet Princess Zira found herself increasingly drawn to the human delegation. Especially Kate Miller. Zira requested that Kate accompany her on a tour of the capital city. The request raised eyebrows among the royal advisors, but none dared question the princess directly. The two walked through the gleaming streets of the Nalarian capital. Tall spires of living crystal reached toward the sky. Buildings that seemed to breathe and pulse with energy surrounded them. Citizens with silver skin and multiple eyes bowed deeply as their princess passed. Some looked at Kate with obvious distrust, others with curiosity. "I wish to understand humans better," Zira said as they walked. "Your species fascinates me. You have no hive mind, no telepathic connection, yet you build great civilizations. How is this possible?" Kate considered the question. "We communicate through language, through art, through shared experiences. We value individual perspectives because they help us see problems from different angles." The princess stopped before a massive structure that hummed with energy. "This is our central thought nexus," she explained. "All Nalarians can connect here, share memories, experiences, knowledge. It is how we maintain unity." Kate studied the structure with interest. "So all your people share one consciousness?" "Not exactly," Zira replied. "We maintain our individual selves, but we can join the collective when needed. It is difficult to explain to someone who has never experienced it." "Would it be possible for me to see it?" Kate asked. "Not to join, of course, but to understand." The princess looked, surprised then thoughtful. "No human has ever entered the Nexus," she said after a moment. "But perhaps it would help the peace process if you could observe. Our leaders might better understand humans if they could see one trying to understand us." They entered the Nexus building. The interior pulsed with soft blue light. Nalarians stood in meditation chambers, their minds linked to the collective. Zira led Kate to an observation room where they could watch without disrupting. "This is beautiful," Kate whispered, watching the synchronized movements of the Nalarians, the flow of energy between them. Like a dance, Zyra had never thought of it that way. The comparison pleased her. Perhaps humans and Nalarians were not so different after all. As they left the Nexus, Kate noticed a group of Nalarian children practicing some form of exercise. Their movements were precisely coordinated, their expressions serious. "Do Nalarian children play?" Kate asked. "Play," Zyra repeated the unfamiliar concept. "Games," Kate explained. "For fun, for joy, for learning through experience." The princess looked confused. "We learn through the collective, through shared knowledge. Why waste time with individual experience when the wisdom of generations is available?" Kate smiled gently. "May I show you something?" Zyra nodded, curious. Kate approached the children, speaking to their instructor in basic Nalarian. After a brief conversation, she gathered the children in a circle and taught them a simple earth game, something called Duck, Duck, Goose. The children were hesitant at first, but soon they were running and laughing, their natural telepathic synchronization temporarily forgotten. As they experienced individual joy, Zyra watched fascinated. The sight of Nalarian children playing individually, expressing emotions freely, was shocking, almost scandalous, yet undeniably beautiful. The princess and the soldier spent hours exploring the city, Kate sharing human customs, Zyra explaining Nalarian traditions. They found unexpected similarities beneath the obvious differences. Both species valued loyalty, courage, knowledge. Both sought meaning in an infinite universe. Both wanted to protect their people. As the twin suns began to set, they found themselves in a quiet garden overlooking the crystal sea. The water reflected the changing colors of the sky, creating a dazzling display. "Your world is magnificent," Kate said softly. "I understand why your people fight so hard to protect it." Zyra studied the human in the fading light. "Do all humans appreciate beauty as you do?" "Most of us," Kate replied. "Beauty is one thing that unites us despite our differences. One human might find beauty in mathematics, another in music, another in nature. But the capacity to recognize and value beauty seems universal." The princess hesitated, then asked, "Kate, will you show me how humans express friendship?" Kate looked surprised, then smiled. She extended her hand, palm up. "This is one way. A handshake is a gesture of trust, equality. Respect." Zyra placed her six-fingered hand in Kate's. The touch sent a shiver of awareness through her, Nalarians rarely touched outside of family units. The sensation was intense, intimate. The human gently squeezed her hand. That night, when they returned to the palace, something had changed. Between them, a bridge had formed between two individuals, between two species. The next morning, Zyra attended the peace negotiations with new perspective. She listened more carefully to the human proposals, saw the wisdom in their approaches. When her advisors rejected human ideas as incomprehensible or dangerous, she found herself defending them, explaining the underlying logic. Ambassador Wilson noticed the change in the princess' attitude. Her grateful smile told Zyra that the human understood what was happening. The princess was becoming a bridge. That evening, a message arrived for Kate. An urgent communication from Earth. The human read it, her expression growing serious. She requested an immediate meeting with both the human delegation and the royal family. "The news is troubling," she explained when they gathered. "A faction of humans opposes the peace treaty. They believe the Nalarian Empire cannot be trusted. They have stolen military technology and plan to attack your homeworld, to sabotage the negotiations." The royal family erupted in outrage. Accusations flew. Threats were made. The weeks of careful diplomacy threatened to collapse in moments. Zyra raised her hand, commanding silence. "Kate Miller has brought this information to us freely," she said. "This proves that the official human government wants peace. We must work together to stop these rogue humans." Kate nodded gratefully. "Your Highness is wise," she said. "My commander has sent coordinates. The attack fleet will arrive. Within 2 days, we have limited time to prepare." The princess turned to her military advisors. "Prepare our defenses," she ordered. "But remember, These humans are not representatives of Earth. They are criminals. Do not use this as an excuse to restart. The war Zyra turned back to Kate. We will need your help. Your knowledge of human tactics will be valuable. The human stood tall, determination clear in her stance. I am at your service. Your Highness, together, we will protect your world and our chance for peace. The aftermath of the battle brought new tensions. The Nalarian Royal Council demanded justice for the attack. Some called for an end to peace negotiations, arguing that humans could not be trusted. Kate stood before the council alongside Ambassador Wilson. The human diplomat spoke eloquently, defending Earth government, disavowing the actions of the rogues, offering reparations for any damage caused. The council remained skeptical. Their collective mind hummed with suspicion and anger. Generations of isolation had made the Nalarians cautious. Now they had proof that at least some humans wanted them destroyed. Princess. Zyra listened to the arguments, her expression unreadable. Finally she rose, silencing the council with a gesture. I have touched the mind of a human, she announced. Her gaze meeting Kate's. I have felt their emotions, experienced their thoughts. They are different from us. Yes. Their individuality makes them unpredictable, sometimes dangerous. But it also gives them strength, creativity, compassion. The attack we faced came from fear. Fear of difference. Fear of change. We must not let our own fears control us. The council murmured, some in agreement, others in protest. The princess continued. One human warned us of the attack, she said. One human fought beside us to protect our world. Judge them by these actions as well. An elder counselor stood, his ancient eyes fixed on Kate Miller. Human, your princess speaks well of you, but the council requires more than words. We must understand your kind better before we can trust. Kate stepped forward. What would you ask of me? The elder gestured to the center of the chamber, where a crystal structure glowed with inner light. This is the heart of knowing, he explained. It allows the council to share memories, experiences, knowledge. No human has ever connected to it. No human can. Such a connection would require a Nalarian mind. Volunteer. Ambassador Wilson said, stepping forward. The elder shook his head. The connection must be with Kate Miller. She has fought beside us. She has shared thoughts with our princess. She has earned the right to try, though it may be impossible. Kate looked at Zyra, questioning. The princess nodded encouragement. I will try. Kate said, moving toward the crystal. The elder warned her. The process is dangerous for a non-telepath. It could overwhelm your mind, leave you damaged. I understand, Kate replied. But peace is worth the risk. The human placed her hands on the crystal structure. The council members joined hands, forming a circle around her. Zyra stood directly behind Kate, her hands hovering near the human's shoulders, ready to pull her away if needed. The crystal pulsed with energy. Kate gasped, her body going rigid as alien consciousness touched her mind. The council members closed their eyes. Their antennae extended as they attempted to connect with the human. Minutes passed in tense silence. Sweat beaded on Kate's forehead. Her breathing became labored. Zyra watched with growing concern. Then something remarkable happened. The crystal changed color, shifting from blue to purple to a warm golden hue. The council members' expressions changed from concentration to surprise to wonder. Kate swayed on her feet, her eyes unfocused. Zyra caught her as she collapsed gently, lowering her to the floor. Is she the princess? Began. Olive, the elder counselor, confirmed, amazed. The human succeeded. Not a full connection, but enough. An impression, an understanding. Kate opened her eyes slowly, focusing on Zyra's face. So many voices, she whispered. So beautiful. The council had seen through Kate's memories. Her childhood on Earth, her training, her battles against Nalarians, the losses she had suffered, the friends who had died. Yet they had also seen her desire for peace, her respect for Nalarian culture, her growing attachment to their princess. The elder counselor spoke, his voice filled with emotion. For the first time, we have truly seen a human mind, not just through reports or observations, but through shared consciousness. This one at least harbors no deception. Her desire for peace is genuine. He turned to Ambassador Wilson. We will continue the peace negotiations. The actions of rogue elements do not represent all humans, just as the actions of individual Nilarians do not represent our empire. Relief washed over the human delegation. Kate, still weak from the mental connection, smiled at Zira. The princess helped her to her feet. The next days brought intense diplomacy. The Nilarians more open now to human perspectives. The humans more understanding of Nilarian concerns. Kate recovered slowly from her experience with the heart of knowing. The connection had left her changed, more aware of the subtle energies around her, more sensitive to the emotions of others. Zira visited her often, bringing rare fruits from the royal gardens, sharing stories of Nilarian history, answering Kate's endless questions about their culture. One evening, as they walked through the crystal forest near the palace, Kate stopped suddenly, her attention caught by something invisible to Nilarian eyes. "What is it?" Zira asked. Kate pointed to what appeared to be empty air. "I can see it," she said quietly. "Energy patterns, flowing, connecting. Everything alive. Everything connected." The princess stared at her in shock. "You sense the collective," she whispered. "No human has ever. Since connecting to the heart of knowing, I see things differently," Kate explained. "It's like a new sense has awakened. Not full telepathy, but something else." Awareness. Zira took Kate's hand, studying her with all six eyes. "This changes everything," she said. "If one human can develop even limited telepathic sensitivity, perhaps our species are not as incompatible as we believed. Perhaps in time, with effort, understanding, there, fingers intertwined, human and alien." The symbolic gesture now carrying deeper meaning. The peace treaty took shape, both sides making concessions, finding compromise. Trade agreements were established, cultural exchange programs planned. A new era of cooperation seemed possible, yet challenges remained. The rogue human commander and his crew remained in Nilarian custody, their hatred unchanged, their minds closed to possibility. The attack had caused damage to outlying Nilarian settlements. Families had lost homes. Some had lost lives. Earth government had offered reparations, but wounds healed. Slowly, Kate proposed a solution. "Let me speak with the prisoners," she requested. "They are my people. Perhaps I can reach them." Zira hesitated, concerned for Kate's safety. "These humans tried to destroy my world," she reminded her. "They would consider you a traitor." "I have to try." Kate insisted. "If we're going to build lasting peace, we need to understand why they feared your people so much. Fear left unaddressed will only grow." The princess reluctantly agreed. Kate visited the detention center where the humans were held. Their leader, a man named Greg Harris, glared at her as she entered his cell. "Traitor," he spat. "You betray humanity." For these aliens, Kate sat across from him, calm despite his anger. "I haven't betrayed anyone," she said. "I prevented a war, saved lives, both human and Nilarian. Why did you attack?" "They were negotiating peace." Harris leaned forward, his eyes cold. "These creatures read minds, control thoughts. They could infiltrate Earth, enslave humanity from within. We saw what they did on Proxima." Kate frowned. "Proxima B?" "The mining colony. What happened there?" "They took over," Harris said. "Made the humans into puppets. They look different here. But it's the same species, same abilities. I know what I saw." Kate studied him, seeing not evil but fear, deep paralyzing fear. "What if you're wrong?" she asked gently. "What if the Nilarians are different? What if what happened on Proxima B was a misunderstanding, like this war?" The man looked away, unconvinced. Kate continued. "I connected with their consciousness. I saw their minds. They value harmony, balance. They fear us as much as we fear them. Our individuality, our unpredictability seems dangerous to them. Yet, they still seek peace." Harris remained silent. I can't force you to change your mind, Kate said, rising to leave. But consider this. If they wanted to control us, why negotiate? Why not just infiltrate Earth secretly? The fact that they're openly seeking diplomatic relations suggests their intentions are different from what you fear. She left the cell uncertain if her words had any impact. When she reported the conversation to Zira, the princess looked troubled. There was an incident on Proxima B. She acknowledged a misunderstanding. Our scouts made contact with humans there, but we never attempted control. We have strict laws against involuntary mental contact. Could some rogue Nilarians have broken those laws, Kate asked. Just as these humans acted, against their government's wishes, Zira considered this. The possibility exists. She admitted. I will order an investigation. If there was wrongdoing, we must address it openly. Lasting peace requires truth. The princess order shocked the royal council. No Nilarian leader had ever suggested investigating their own kind to satisfy human concerns. Yet Zira remained firm. If we expect humans to hold their rogues accountable, we must do the same, she declared. This is the foundation of trust. The palace transformed into a military command center. Nilarian officers moved with perfect coordination. Their minds linked through the collective. Kate stood beside Princess Zira, studying tactical displays. The rogue human fleet would arrive in less than 20 hours. Kate shared everything she knew about human battle tactics. The princess absorbed the information, quickly passing it to her commanders through the telepathic network. We have an advantage, Kate explained. These rogues don't know. We've been warned. They expect a surprise attack. Zira nodded, her 6 eyes focused on the stellar map. They will approach from the dark side of our third moon, using its gravity to accelerate their weapons. The human looked impressed. How did you know? That simple tactics, the princess replied. Your mind showed me how humans think. I merely applied the knowledge. They worked through the night planning defenses. Ambassador Wilson contacted Earth requesting reinforcements, but help would arrive too late. The Nilarians and the small human delegation would face the threat alone. As dawn broke, Kate found Zira in the royal gardens. The princess stood perfectly still, her antenna extended toward the sky. What are you doing? Kate asked softly. Feeling my world, the princess replied. Every living thing, every crystal formation, every current in our oceans, I am saying goodbye. Just in case. The human moved closer. I promise you, Your Highness, we will protect your world. Zira turned to face Kate. In my culture, we have a tradition before battle. We share a memory with someone we trust. Something precious. Something worth fighting for. Would you accept such a gift from me? Kate nodded. Honored by the request, the princess placed her slender hands on either side. Of the human's face, her touch gentle. Their foreheads touched. Zira closed, all 6 eyes concentrating. Kate gasped as images flooded her mind. She saw the Nilarian world through Zira's eyes, felt the connection to every living thing. The beauty of the crystal forests, the majesty of the singing mountains, the joy of minds touching in perfect harmony. She experienced Zira's childhood, her training, her hopes, her fears, her determination to be a worthy leader. When the princess pulled away, Kate was weeping, the experience overwhelming her human senses. Now I understand, she whispered. I understand why you fight. Zira wiped a tear from the human's face. In return, will you show me what humans fight for? Kate took the princess' hands in hers. Since I can't share memories like your people, I will tell you I fight for my family. My friends, the future children of Earth. I fight for the chance to explore the stars, to learn to grow. I fight because I believe peace is possible, even between species as different as ours. The princess listened, absorbing every word. The human passion moved her deeply. The alarm sounded, interrupting their moment. The rogue fleet had been detected, approaching faster than anticipated. They rushed to the command center. Tactical displays showed 12 human warships approaching Nilarian space, their weapons hot, their intentions clear. Our defense fleet is in position, Commander Lysrix reported. We can intercept them before they reach our atmosphere. No, Kate interrupted. This is exactly what they want. Your ships to commit to a frontal assault while a second force attacks from another vector. Zyra studied the display. Kate is right, she declared. This is a diversion. Where is the real attack coming from? The command center fell silent as Nilarian minds joined searching space around their world. Their commander Lysrix pointed to a new reading. Stealth ships approaching from the polar region. Using our magnetic field to mask their approach, they would have succeeded if we hadn't been, warned Zyra. Acknowledged. The princess made a swift decision. We will split our forces. The main fleet will engage the decoy ships. Minimal force only. I want prisoners, not casualties. A smaller force will ambush the stealth ships. Kate, you will coordinate with Commander Lysrix. Your knowledge of human tactics is crucial. The human nodded, accepting the responsibility. As the Nilarian forces moved into position, Kate worked with the commanders. She suggested unexpected maneuvers, ways to counter human technology. The Nilarians adapted quickly, their hive mind allowing instant communication and coordination. The battle began. The decoy fleet engaged with Nilarian defenders. Weapons fire illuminated space around the third moon. Meanwhile, the stealth ships continued. Their approach unaware they had been detected. Kate watched the tactical displays, her heart pounding. These were her people, even if they were rogues. She was helping aliens fight humans. The weight of her decision pressed upon her. Zyra sensed the humans. Distress through their brief mental connection, she had gained insight into Kate's mind. These rogues threaten both our peoples. She reminded her. They would sacrifice peace for their own fear and hatred. Kate straightened her resolve, firming. Yes. They made their choice. We are making ours. The stealth ships entered Nilarian atmosphere, their weapons targeting the capital city. The ambush force struck suddenly, surrounding the human vessels. Surrender, Zyra. Broadcast on all frequencies. This is Princess Zyra of the Nilarian Empire. Your presence here is known. Your plan has failed. Surrender and you will be treated fairly. The response came swiftly. A barrage of weapons fire. The stealth ships accelerating toward the capital. Zyra gave the order to engage. The Nilarian ships moved with perfect coordination, herding the human vessels away from populated areas in the command center. Kate noticed something odd about the rogue ships' flight patterns. They were too predictable, too mechanical. They're automated, she realized suddenly. No human pilots. Their ships are drones. The princess processed this information quickly. This changes our approach. She said, they can't surrender. They can't be reasoned with. They must be disabled or destroyed. Kate studied the tactical display there. That's the control ship. She pointed to a vessel hanging back from the main force. It's transmitting commands to the others. If we can disrupt that signal, the drones will be useless. Commander Lysrix deployed specialized ships equipped with signal jammers. They approached the control vessel, carefully evading its defensive fire. The human commander of the rogue fleet appeared on the communication screen, his face twisted with hatred. Princess Zyra, he spat. You side with humans against your own kind, Kate Miller. You are a traitor to Earth. We side with peace, Kate replied, while Zyra worked with her commanders to position the jamming ships. These are not the actions of Earth government. You represent only yourselves and your fear. The man laughed. Fear. The only ones who should fear are the aliens who think they can manipulate humanity. The signal jammers activated. The drone ships faltered their movements, becoming erratic. The Nilarian forces closed in, disabling the unmanned vessels. One by one, the commander realized what was happening. Too late. His finger moved toward a control panel. Kate recognized. He's activating self-destruct, she shouted. Zyra didn't hesitate. All ships pull back, she ordered. Jamming at maximum power. The drones exploded in sequence, brilliant flashes against the sky. The control ship attempted to flee, but Nilarian vessels surrounded it. The battle was over. The threat neutralized. The peace process saved, but at what cost? 3 months passed. The investigation into the Proxima B incident revealed uncomfortable truths. A small faction of Nilarian explorers had indeed attempted to influence human minds. They believed they were protecting their discovery rights to valuable Minerals. The incident had been covered up by military officials afraid of damaging Nalarian reputation. Princess Zira stood before the combined human and Nalarian assembly, her voice clear as she acknowledged the wrongdoing. The Nalarian, responsible, were brought to justice. Reparations offered to the affected humans from Proxima B. The princess ordered a complete review of contact protocols, implementing new safeguards against mental interference. The human delegation was impressed by the transparency. Ambassador Wilson praised the princess' courage and integrity. Greg Harris and his crew, watching from detention, gradually began to reconsider their positions. Their fear based on real events, but their response had been extreme, disproportionate, dangerous. Kate found herself in a unique position. Having touched Nalarian consciousness, she could explain concepts to both sides, bridging the gap between telepathic and individual thinking. She worked tirelessly with diplomatic teams, finding compromises, creating understanding. The peace treaty neared completion, a framework for cooperation between worlds, each maintaining sovereignty, each respecting the other's differences, each contributing unique strengths to mutual challenges. Zira and Kate continued their private conversations, their connection deepening with each exchange, the princess fascinated by human individuality, Kate entranced by Nalarian unity. They represented the best of their species, open to new ideas, willing to change. The night before, the treaty signing, Kate found Zira in their garden as they had come to think of it. The princess bioluminescence pulsed with emotion. "Tomorrow changes everything," Zira said. "Our world's officially at peace." Kate nodded, standing close to the princess. "We still have much to learn about each other," she said. "Many challenges ahead." The princess reached for Kate's hand, a gesture that had become natural between them. "I have a request," she said formally. "When the treaty is signed, most of your delegation will return to Earth." Kate nodded. "The negotiations complete, their presence no longer required. Would you consider staying?" Zira asked, her 6 eyes focused intently on the human. "As an official liaison, an ambassador of your own." Kate looked surprised. "Earth has an ambassador," she said, confused. The princess' antenna twitched with uncharacteristic nervousness. "I am not asking you to represent Earth to the Nalarian Empire," she clarified. "I am asking you to stay with me." Understanding dawned on Kate. "Oh," she said softly. Zira continued quickly. "In our culture, when 2 minds connect as ours have, it creates a bond, a resonance. Our traditions allow for such connections to be formalized, recognized, even between different ranks, different backgrounds." Kate smiled gently. "In human terms, Your Highness, are you courting me?" The princess bioluminescence flashed bright pink, the Nalarian equivalent of a blush. "I understand this may seem strange, inappropriate," even she said. "Our species, our customs, so different, yet I find myself drawn to your mind, your spirit, your courage. I wish to explore this connection further, if you are willing." Kate took both of Zira's hands in hers. "On Earth we have a saying," she replied. "Differences are meant to be celebrated, not merely tolerated." "I would be honored to stay to learn more about your world, your customs, your people, to see where this connection between us might lead." Relief and joy pulsed through the princess bioluminescence. "Then you accept?" The human nodded. "There is much we can teach each other," she said. "Much we can accomplish together." The treaty signing ceremony took place in the Great Crystal Hall. Human and Nalarian officials gathered to witness history. Ambassador Wilson and the Royal Council leaders signed the documents, their signatures sealed with both Earth ink and Nalarian bioluminescent seal. Princess Zira addressed the assembly. "This treaty marks not an end but a beginning," she declared. "Not merely peace, but partnership. Not simply tolerance, but understanding. Our species evolved on different worlds, developed different abilities, different perspectives, yet today, we recognize that diversity strengthens us all." The princess gestured to Kate, who stood nearby. "I have touched the mind of a human," she continued, and found not an enemy but a friend, not a threat but a possibility. Together we will build a future greater than either of us could create alone. Kate stepped forward at the princess' invitation. Earth values, individualism, innovation, personal freedom, she said. Nilarians value harmony, connection, shared consciousness. Both approaches have created remarkable civilizations. Imagine what we might accomplish by combining our strengths. The crowd murmured, some excited, some skeptical. Change never came easily to either species. The announcement of Kate's appointment as special liaison to the royal court caused surprise among both delegations. Her decision to remain on the Nilarian homeworld raised eyebrows. But those who had worked closely with Kate and Zira during the crisis understood. The bond between them represented the best hope for lasting peace. The human delegation departed, leaving Kate behind. She watched their ships rise into the atmosphere, feeling momentary doubt. Would she find her place in this alien world? So different from everything she had known, Zira sensed her uncertainty. The princess reached for Kate's hand, a gesture that still drew stares from traditional Nilarians. They care too much what others think, the princess said dismissively. A flaw in our collective thinking. Sometimes the individual must lead the way. Kate smiled, squeezing the alien hand gently. On that humans and Nilarians might agree. The first year brought challenges. Kate struggled to adapt to Nilarian customs. The constant mental awareness of others around her. The complex social hierarchies. The food that sometimes moved on her plate. Zira faced criticism from conservatives who believed relationships with humans were inappropriate. Beneath royal dignity, political rivals questioned her judgment, her fitness to rule. Yet they persevered. Kate learned the intricacies of Nilarian protocol, mastered the basics of their language, developed her newfound sensitivity to telepathic energies. Zira studied human culture, history, art, understanding individualism not as chaos but as strength. Together they created programs bringing human and Nilarian youth together, teaching each species to value the others, gifts. Exchange students arrived, from Earth wide-eyed and nervous but eager to learn. The first Nilarians traveled to human worlds, their telepathic abilities carefully controlled, but their curiosity unbounded. 5 years after the treaty signing, Kate stood beside Princess Zira, now Queen Zira, following her mother's retirement. They watched human and Nilarian children playing together in the palace gardens, the human children teaching games of imagination and chance, the Nilarian children sharing simple telepathic exercises, human parents and Nilarian guardians conversing cautiously but with growing ease. Who would have imagined this? Kate said, gesturing to the scene before them. When we first met, Zira, diamond pupils dilated with affection. I did not even understand the concept of play, she admitted. Now I cannot imagine life without it, without joy, without sharing experiences individually, not just collectively. Kate leaned against the queen, their bodies fitting together comfortably, despite the differences in height. And Earth scientists and Nilarian mind healers working together had made remarkable discoveries. The human capacity for intuitive leaps combined with Nilarian pattern recognition, advancing both medicine and technology. Both worlds benefiting from cooperation. A small group of humans and Nilarians approached requesting an audience. The leaders of a new joint venture, the first ships designed by both species, intended for deep space exploration. Their mission to seek out other intelligent life to share the hard-won wisdom of the Earth-Nilarian alliance. Queen Zira welcomed them, her royal authority balanced by Kate's diplomatic skill, the perfect partnership. Formal recognition of their bond had come 3 years earlier. A ceremony combining traditions from both worlds. Their connection now legendary, a symbol of what was possible when fear gave way to understanding. That night, as 3 moons rose over the crystal sea, Kate and Zira stood on their private balcony. The queen, silver skin, glowed in the moonlight. Her 6 eyes reflecting the stars Kate had once found alien now. Beloved, familiar, perfect, do you ever regret it? Zira asked. The choice to stay. A human among Nilarians. So far from your home? Kate shook her head. Home isn't a place, she said. It's where you belong, where you make a difference, where you're understood. She took the Queen's hand, their fingers intertwining as they had countless times before. When I arrived, I thought our differences would always separate us. She continued, now I understand they are what make us stronger together. Zira nodded. The Nalarian collective had taught unity, but humanity had taught her celebration of difference, the combination more powerful than either alone. The Queen leaned down, touching her, forehead to Kate's in the traditional Nalarian gesture of intimacy. Their minds brushed against each other, human individuality and Nalarian connectivity, finding harmony. Where once a princess had struggled to maintain her composure, faced with an alien soldier, now a queen and her human consort stood united, creating a future neither species could have imagined alone.